Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Late Late Horror Show with me, Dino,
and me, Ted.
Superman.
Wearing my special shirt for y'all today. This
There
is going to
you
be my show shirt, the SS shirt.
That's Ted's late, even though he's got a Late Late Horror Show T-shirt at home.
I do.
This
is
his Late Late Horror Show T-shirt.
That's right. I have an official. I wear it when I'm out in public
Yeah.
to see if anybody recognizes the fact that I'm on the T-shirt. I never.
Hey,
I've
hey,
never
that's
once.
you.
And I've
Right
worn it
there.
around family, and nobody says anything. Like,
No.
is that you? No,
Because they're used to you wearing so many different
I know.
movie T-shirts and stuff like that. Anyways, we got this week our top 10 horror franchise
Lists.
icon. So
our
top
personal
10.
top tens.
Yeah, so my personal, it's probably not going to be the same as your guys's.
Mine is
His is going to be,
definitely not the same.
Ted's is going to be, I can just imagine. So this is ours. Ours.
Well, everybody
Like
like
all
theirs
of our
are all the
lists.
same. They're just going to argue about, Jason or Freddy. Which one should be number one?
They
They ain't on my list, guys.
Really?
Not even there.
None of them?
None
wow.
of them. Take all the famous ones. None of them there.
Holy shit. So we'll have
We got something to talk about.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
so
they're not good enough to make my top 10.
We can argue back and forth, that's for sure.
We had the criteria. There had to be at least 3 movies in the series.
Of course.
And my personal criteria was that I had to pretty much like all the movies in the series.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, but I don't like part 2. No, I
That's
gotta like them all.
That wasn't my criteria because
No.
I don't like all the movies in some of these.
See?
But we'll talk about it.
I'm happy with mine. You're probably going to want my list when you're done.
I might. I just might. But yeah. Anyways, if you're on iTunes listening, we do this. We used to do this live, but come to the YouTube page.
We got punished.
The Late Late Horror Show, and you got
Punished.
video. As always, check us out on Google Podcasts and
MySpace.
your Apple Store and MySpace. You say that every week. MySpace.
I was never on any of these platforms.
You're still not on none of them.
We're on Pornhub.
Yeah, we're on Pornhub. Hey, that might not be a bad platform for us.
Hey, people click on something there. But what is this?
Huh? What are they
They'll just
doing?
be waiting for me to have a nip slip with this loose shirt on.
What are they doing? They're talking horror. Anyways, nice to have you guys here. Check out all the links below as usual, and let's get going. We are going to start our top 10 lists and work from 10 to 1 like we always do, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Put your list down below in the comments for a big prize drawing.
Really?
That won't happen anytime soon. So yeah.
And please, lots of comments about my list, because it has nothing on there that any of you all like.
Yeah, talk about Ted's Superman muscle shirt. Yeah, and a little bit of that. And yeah. Okay, so you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
All
go
right.
first. Go first.
This was the only one I wasn't 100% sure.
Number 10.
Number 10, the bottom of my top 10 barrel. What could it be?
I don't know.
It's 4 films. They're not linked, like watch one after the other, but they are reimaginings of the same story for different generations, and that would be the Invasion of the Body Snatchers series.
Oh, okay.
All right, because it's a different take each time. It's overall the same story, but you have the original.
See, is that a friend? I guess. Okay,
Sort
go
of.
ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could put it together as a collection and say,
I'm going.
you're going to
with
give
you.
it to me?
I'm
All right.
going with you.
It was the only one I wasn't 100% sure of.
Okay.
But I really like all 4 of them.
Yeah.
You have the original, the classic from 1956.
Great.
People interpret that as communism. And then the 78, my favorite one.
Oh, my favorite too.
With Leonard Nimoy and Donald Sutherland.
Yep.
I love the beginning, the outer space, and you see the organisms flying through space.
Yeah.
I dig the heck out of that movie. Then in '93, you had Body Snatchers, which that took place on the military base. And
Right.
I remember that only came out to art house theaters when it did come out, at least in our area. Mm-hmm. And then 2007 with Nicole Kidman, The Invasion.
Oh, that's Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Even though that one kind of got low marks and whatever, I still kind of dug. I dig the story.
Okay.
And
I dig Nicole Kidman.
It is my least favorite of all 4.
Yeah.
But I always find something in those films to let I've got to stay awake, and it's different ways that it's transmitted in some of the movies. Sometimes it's pods, sometimes it's through an organism that gets in you, and while you have REM sleep, it takes over you.
Yeah.
And it's just the idea of everyone around you.
I like the old takes.
Everyone around you being all one thing, and
Right.
you're the only one that's different. And so I think I
feel like that. Yeah.
It seems like every generation kind of got their own, and I'd say in about another 5 or 8 years, we should be about due for another one.
Jesus Christ.
About time for another retelling.
We need
Because that's the cool thing about those films is it sort of reflects the times. And, none of them are from the past or the future. They all take place in the now of when they came out. And it sort of reflects what's going on now.
Yeah.
So that's number 10 on my list.
I get that.
A thematic franchise. I guess.
Okay, there you go, yeah. Not a... Yeah, continue. Well, you know what? Some can put my number 10 at that. Well, no, not necessarily. Okay, so my number 10, I didn't go with the same criteria as Ted did, where every movie needs to be great. But I need...
Not necessarily great, just I have to like them all.
Okay. Well, see, I don't like all of these movies, and there's a lot of them in this series. And the last half, Hellraiser.
All right.
I had to put Hellraiser in there.
It's like you had 2 good movies and a bunch of mediocre movies.
That's the thing. The first movie... First of all, the character of Pinhead... Everybody who knows our channel probably knows how much he's my favorite out of Pinhead, the Cenobites, but Pinhead in particular, my favorite horror icon of all time.
And to realize, I think Hannibal Lecter had more screen time in Silence of the Lambs than Pinhead does in Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really not in it that much.
No,
I'm watching it that long. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he ain't even in this movie.
Well, in the first one,
the first one.
It's a story, and leads up to something. And 2, you get a lot more Pinhead.
You do.
And I enjoyed 2. See, this is the thing. I love the first one so much, and I love the character so much that 2's great. It progressively gets worse and worse and worse.
3
and
is
worse.
tolerable to some extent.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe just for the simple fact that Armored Saint is in it playing a concert in that big
But
club.
see, I can even get by with 4 or 5 just because of the character.
4 had some good ideas. Bloodline had some kind of cool ideas in there, but...
It's the latter, 3 or so that
admittedly, I haven't even seen...
Yeah.
I don't think
I haven't seen the last 2.
I don't think I saw anything past 4, past Bloodline.
Okay.
I'm out. Tapped out.
Yeah, no. But again, I had to put this in there because the iconic Pinhead, and I love that first one definitely. It's up there in horror movies, for me.
Have you read the book? Have you read the Hellbound Heart?
I have not.
You must read it because it is different.
I know, you tell me.
And,
you tell me.
It's not Pinhead, it's the priest.
Right. I know.
Gotta read that book.
So, that's my number 10.
I'm surprised it's so low. I know you love Pinhead. Why.
Well, because again...
Those sequels.
Yeah, those sequels. I mean,
But you think for the first 2 or 3 they'd put them... Well, I expect them to be a little bit higher for you, but there we go. That's how we start.
Shocked you. Yeah. Okay.
My number 9.
Number 9.
The Subspecies series.
Fuck.
You forgot about Subspecies? No. As he scrambles to change his list.
Where would I rank that on? You know what? Yeah. It can bump something off. Because I totally forgot. I know where I'd put it in there, and I'm not telling you. But anyways, go ahead.
Our love for these movies is
been terrible
on display on this show plenty of times. I'm so looking forward to Blood Rise on Valentine's Day on Amazon Prime. I'll be there.
That's what you get out of me.
I even though the first 2 are the best, I love all 4 of them, and Vampire Journals, which ties into it a little bit. I love that too. And the first 2, like I've always said, I rented those tapes, and I can't say anything more than I've already said, man. Drool and all, I love Radu.
Yeah.
Subspecies.
You know what? I slipped it in at my number 9 too. I had to. because it's not going to go above the rest of them.
So you took something away?
I did.
Can you tell us what you took away?
No.
You don't want to tell us what you took away?
All right. We'll see.
All right. Everyone's going to bug Dino to no end what he took out.
Oh, it's a shame we're not live, right?
No. Although we might be able to figure it out by list's end.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah,
this is what I was hoping I'd do to you.
I don't know how I forgot about Subspecies because Radu, the storyline, that mood, that feel to that series and that franchise,
nothing like it.
Yeah, and I love every one of the movies. They're fantastic, and I can't wait for the new one too. So
my fledgling
guys. Nothing greater of a vampire since Nosferatu, in my opinion.
And really just the fact that they filmed it in Romania, real castles, it just gives it something that no other movie has.
Right. It separates itself from a lot of the other
for
vampire
that reason.
films. Yeah.
And I'm stoked that at least some of the new one will be filmed in Eastern Europe. They didn't say what.
Yeah.
But hey, if you could just go over there and get some background shots and things, just to.
Yeah.
To
add the ambiance.
Do it in a sound stage, but film the outside of the cat. Just give it a look.
Right.
But
so I cheated and I did insert that because it passed me on by for some reason. Right. Yikes. Okay, so number 8.
Number 8, next logical choice, the Puppet Master series.
Okay.
Especially the first 3, I love them, but I love. Warts and all, I love all the Puppet Master movies. Even Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys, which doesn't count.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, but I watched it on Sci-Fi Channel when it came on. Even the Legacy, which is mostly clips from the other movies with little bits of new stuff in between. Usually when I watch the Blu-ray, I just fast forward. And I even brought it here for the show. I mean, I bought the big chest.
Yeah,
with
people
all
have mentioned it. Holy crap, what a set, man. Yeah.
That's I bought that. Yeah. And I even though I didn't buy it, I didn't hate The Littlest Reich. I watched it.
Right.
It's not the puppets that I'm used to, but I didn't hate it. I liked seeing the puppets do their things and be bad guys again. It's just I like my OG ones a little better, and there's not room in the chest for the movie.
Right.
But there is a Blade solo movie
coming
out
from the Deadly 10 that Full Moon has announced. That drops on Amazon, right?
On February 14th. Boy, Valentine's Day, like the wife, I got 2 movies to watch.
If not, I think those were the main 2.
I will eventually get through all 10 of them probably, but I'm at least watching those that day.
Yeah, there's some, there's a couple in there that
I'll probably watch Slime Bowl-orama 2,
yeah.
Even though I wasn't as crazy about the first one.
Oh my God, okay, so my 8, believe it or not, is I'll just say Puppet Master did not make my list. It's right underneath.
All right,
but A Nightmare on Elm Street,
and it's at number
8.
Number 8, Freddy Krueger at number 8.
Freddy Krueger
is
at number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah, good grocery store. But Freddy Krueger is my number 8 pick.
You got a favorite movie in the series?
Mainly, I'm an OG guy. I love the original. I love the original. The remake was okay too, but
my wife and I walked out of that movie.
Really?
We did. We got our money back after about 30 minutes.
I can see it. But no. I mean, 2's great. 3's great. In my opinion. See, Freddy Krueger is a character where, and this happens for me sometimes, where there's even bad, and people are going to be, who know me and hear this list, are going to be like, I'm not sure that's the Dino that we're used to hearing from, because
we just don't like to. On our
because
show,
I
we
rip
like
on
to deal
you.
with other things.
Yeah.
Every show, and I'm not knocking nobody.
No.
Hey, this
we joke,
same old things, and to me, that's not. I like to bring something new to the table. So maybe a flick that nobody's seen,
right?
And maybe that's why we get less than some people, because we're not talking about what everybody else wants to talk about.
No, right.
But that's just us.
We do our thing.
That's just us.
And every now and then we rip the horror icons and the franchises of Freddy, Jason, Michael, and all that stuff. But doesn't mean deep down inside
we've seen them all.
I'm not
we've
a
seen
fan. Freddy.
We've probably seen them all before y'all ever saw them. In some cases.
Yeah.
So.
And again, Freddy Krueger is just one of those characters.
Remember when that movie came out, the commercials. I mean, you're like, I never saw anything like that.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And there is some interesting...
Him riding that bus, the dowel that gets pulled through the glass window at the end. It's just like, whoa! Tripped out shit.
Quite honestly, I mean, Freddy's Dead is kind of a dog. It's not, I'll watch it. Yeah. But the others, I'm pretty cool with, and I really like New Nightmare.
Yeah.
I think that one,
good. Yeah.
Before that whole trend of, holding the mirror up and looking at horror films, I thought that was actually a really interesting take, except it's got that damn annoying kid in it, I think from Pet Sematary.
Right.
Other than that, it's a pretty spot-on movie. I love that idea, and I love how it plays on the idea that Freddy Krueger is he's a child killer. And yet he shows up at this, talk show at the beginning of the film, whatever, and everyone's cheering and screaming. And the guy's the character is a murderer of children.
I know.
And you have kids going out at Halloween dressed as him.
I know.
That is different than any other icon of the other franchises.
Right. No, I get it. And I know that bothers you a little bit.
I mean, I just think it's now that I'm a little older, I just look and I go, I get it. Freddy looks cool. You want to be him for Halloween. But it's like, as a society, what are we doing?
Oh, fuck society.
I know.
But again, that's where why I put this at this spot in the list. Because, Freddy Krueger's a character that I can watch him in even some kind of bad flicks or so-so flicks. You know what I mean? Because I like the Freddy Krueger character and storyline pretty much, so bad that I can get by with those lesser, films. But anyways, that's my pick. And
I guess the only thing that disappoints me is as you watch them all, he becomes more of a cartoon.
Stop looking.
Oh, I didn't see it. He becomes more.
It's funny how every time I pick it up, you're like this, though.
Well, it's because it's movement.
I'm joking.
He becomes more of a cartoon. The first two, for sure, scary. 3, a little bit scary, but starting to become that smart alecky one-liner kind of thing. Yeah. And then through the rest, that's all he is. So, but that's what happens when other people get involved. But first 3 and New Nightmare, I could forego all the rest.
And again, the newer the horror franchises get with their movies, the less I appreciate them, because you don't got that 80s love or even early 90s love that went into these movies. But anyways, that's just me. But
it's one of the last few really good ideas. Someone that attacks you in your dreams and you can't do a damn thing to stop them. Yeah. Even though they figure out a way every movie.
Yeah.
So where am I at? Number 7.
Yep.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon series. All 3 films are fantastic. You can just watch the first one, but if you watch all 3... I did
something a bit different, but
did you?
I'll talk about it when I get to
it. All right. It's
great choice,
but it's so cool because by the end of the series, they've taken the creature, they've humanized him a little bit. He lives on land.
He's got clothes on.
Yeah, he breathes oxygen. Yeah. I mean,
it's a bit of a trip that
they make him more of a man, and he's got more. He understands. And just the final scene when he just tears it, he's going back to the ocean.
Yeah, he said, "Get me out of this civilization."
And he's a pitiable character because of what they've done to him.
Right. Just let me live.
All 3, one big story, kinda. Really cool.
Yeah. No, Ted, great pick. Again, I did something just a little bit different, and when I get to it.
Right.
But because I can't say nothing because
we'll get there.
But no, great pick.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is the Evil Dead franchise.
Didn't make my list.
Didn't really.
Almost did.
Okay.
You know what? If I had number 11, it probably would have been Evil Dead, because it was there at first. But then I went with Invasion of the Body Snatchers because I was like, I like those better.
Okay. Yeah. No. The first. I mean, there's not a bad film in the series.
No, even sort of the reboot they did was
Yeah.
kind of fun. I saw that in the theater. It was fun.
Right.
Gross.
But I'll always go back to. I don't like Army of Darkness as much as a lot of other people. Some put that.
I love Army of Darkness.
I know. Some put that before the other first two, but
it's got some great lines.
It does. But I'm an OG guy
so
again, and I love that original with.
I love the skeletons.
It was built on the cheap. No, that's cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah.
I get it. Stop motion shit and all that, but I love it too. But that mood and feel. The movie on the cheap in pretty much almost one room. And then there's the outside. The forest. And the iconic scene with the raping of the spirit coming.
I always love the raping.
The pillaging and the raping of the villages, and and again,
that just goes to show, man.
Bruce Campbell
learned how to make a movie together as friends,
right?
And did it, and it took a while,
right. But look what you got, and then
we got Bruce.
Then you came,
Sam.
number 2, which redoes things and stuff like that.
In a way, yeah.
More money and stuff like that lets you do a little bit more of your.
Then you get the TV show, which sort of ends open-endedly, but in a way, it kind of ends appropriately. I guess I think we all wish we could have had a little bit of a better ending.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that Ash Williams is out there still fighting Deadites, even in the future,
and might show himself again.
He says he's retired as the character.
Yeah, okay.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Bless him, he's earned it.
And you got Bubba Hotep out of it.
Oh.
Has nothing to do with Evil Dead, but there you go. Anyways, so that's my number, what was that? My number 7, yeah.
So I get to do number 6?
Yep.
All right. My big one. Lots of movies in this series.
Okay.
They're monster movies, so I'm going to say they count.
I'm scared.
But
don't say it.
The Showa
don't say it.
era Godzilla films, 1954 to 1975, the OG Godzilla movies.
Wow. Okay.
Anytime
something told me that this would be on your list.
Just those.
There's a Godzilla versus King Kong in there too, right?
Yes, that is the second sequel to the original.
Yeah. How often do we get the dog barking on our podcast?
I don't know. You tell us.
Son of a bitch.
But, man, I loved Godzilla movies as a kid, and I still love them as an adult. I've been revisiting a lot of them. I don't know if I'll go see the new one. I didn't really care for the last one they did. I thought it was kind of dull.
Even though this one, it's just a spectacle. It's the characters suck. And, that whole thing. But
I don't really watch Godzilla movies for the characters, except for the two little tiny girls from Infant Island for Mothra.
Oh,
I like them. Are they in the new movie, I wonder? Are there the two little girls singing that song?
I have no idea. I don't think so. But I remember that from the old one,
Yes. Man. I want that played when I die.
But those old Japanese flicks.
Anytime Superhost.
Watch the table every time you hit this.
Oh my!
We have. Yeah, I should have told you this before we went live.
What?
It echoes this whole microphone.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys.
So throughout the whole show, it's going boom, 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 and I'm like going, oh shit.
Anytime there was a Godzilla movie on Saturday afternoons, my ass was there.
And what was that on? It was on Superhost.
Superhost would always show. I used to draw pictures of Godzilla and send it to him.
Yeah,
because he would show pictures that the kids send in. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I hadn't seen any for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they were going to be like on Sci-Fi Channel or one of those channels, and I had to work or something like that. So I think I paid my sister to record them for me. I was like, "Can you just cut the commercials out? I'll give you $20."
Cut the commercials
and
out. Wow.
I got reamed. She's like, "This was the worst day of my
no,
life."
She's like, "No way
this
am I going to watch this."
Terrible.
She's scarred from Godzilla.
But it's just the man in the suit and the weird creatures they have and. I just love them. And I'm waiting. The rumor is that the video company Criterion has the rights to all of those now. They have the first one because they put that out.
Yeah.
And they have the rights to, I think, all the others in that series now. they may have to license the King Kong versus Godzilla because that's Universal. And they're supposed to put out a box
we get
set.
that in 10 months too. Godzilla versus
right.
King Kong. But anyway,
But if I get that box set, I mean, I'm the happiest kid in the sandbox. I'm telling you, if Criterion watches, I will pay an insane amount of money for that. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I'm not going to wait for a half off sale or anything. I'm buying it the day it comes out.
Do it.
Charge $300-$400 for it. I don't care. I will buy it.
Yes.
Because after that's done, I don't have to ever buy another movie again.
There you go.
So, because as of right now, all my Godzilla movies in the original Japanese with English subtitles are on a USB drive. You know.
How the hell did that happen? You get that from the store? Anyway.
Got it from my uncle.
Yeah. Way to cover that up.
Yep.
No, great choice, man.
Thank you.
And very relevant.
And if there's any other G fans out there, man, holla.
We should do a whole show on Godzilla because it's big right now. But we passed that boat. I don't know, but we could. I don't even need to lift this up. I kind of know.
You know the rest of them.
But so this is what? This is number 6? Let me see.
Your number 6.
Yeah, number 6. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Even the one with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey.
Even that one.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, this is how I am. If I love a character so much, I can sit through the bad crap. Except for a couple. But Leatherface is one I can sit through. I can sit through the bad acting of... I could sit through the Matthew McConaughey and
well, hell,
Renee
even the original had bad acting in it.
Well...
Come on, Franklin. He ain't winning no awards. Sally?
But
can I pee in this coffee can?
But there was something about how he was real. I mean, it was, the time
it was
period,
almost documentary style.
Right.
Gonzo filming.
Yeah. And I love that. I mean, you can't, I can't say enough about the original, but part 2, I mean...
Turns it upside down. It's a black comedy.
But I
you're
loved
watching,
it.
What the hell?
I loved
You remember the original movie?
A lot of people say, what did it...
Because it's not. It's Tobe Hooper. This is the movie he wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Joe Dante did Gremlins 2 and just flipped it all over.
Right.
I don't know if you
loved it. But
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if it's the Blu-ray cover, but it's definitely the ad that was in the newspaper.
Okay.
It was the family,
right?
But they were positioned just like the kids in Breakfast Club, they were positioned the same way.
Right. Yeah. No, that's in there. That was very cool. Mm-hmm. Good pickup. I mean, again, Leatherface is a character. The other ones, the whole family, the trio, so-called. I love it, but Leatherface himself, I'm intrigued with the Ed Gein character in real life. You ask me, well, what's that got to do with the movies? Well, if you're interested in that sort of, thing in history with the serial killers and stuff and what's involved with all that.
Because that's the kind of shit Ed Gein did.
Yeah. So, and hell, how you come up with this dude, this heavy-set dude, with his butcher's apron on and that chainsaw and the poor kids that come into that house. I don't think, too many movies have brought fear into me like him coming out of that screen door and
it effectively
chasing
builds terror.
Oh.
You don't see a lot of blood. You see next to no gore.
Yeah.
It's just a constant buildup of tension until the end of the film. And that's... even though it's not one of my favorite movies, just because I like Texas Chainsaw, the original. Right. I don't revisit a lot of films where people are just torturing people.
No, and that's if anything, that's the downside. But go ahead.
Like you'll notice, all of mine are like monsters and
no, it's all right.
Scenarios that don't happen.
Yeah.
It does that so effectively, building the tension.
Yeah.
Without grossing you out, and it lets your imagination run wild. To where a lot of people back then thought, oh my God, there was so much blood. There really wasn't.
And there really wasn't. Yeah. No. Yeah. So there you go. I mean,
excellent.
That's a, when I put these iconic figures, which you see the figures on my thing, they're not there for no reason whatsoever. it's because they've had a big impact on my horror, life here, that I've, these movies that we've grown up with, and we pop in, every Halloween, and stuff like that. So
pop them in tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm always watching monster movies and stuff.
Almost halfway through.
Number 5.
You're number 5.
I'm not real keen on counting the whole series, although they're somewhat watchable.
Okay.
I'm really just talking about the first 3, and that's Romero's Dead series.
Okay.
After Day of the Dead, I'm not as interested. Land of the Dead was okay. I appreciated some of what Survival of the Dead, or Diary of the Dead, was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Survival of the Dead, I only saw it once. It didn't really connect with it.
Yeah.
But if you're talking night, dawn, day, it forms a proper trilogy. And
it's on my list.
I don't think there's anything else you could really say about it. I mean, Night of the Living Dead was introduced.
Those 3 zombie are quintessential zombie movies, and yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if they get better being the classics that they are. I mean, there's some good newer zombie stuff. I mean, Walking Dead was fantastic for a while there, but
it didn't hold steam for 10 years. No, see, okay, there, I don't have to bother watching it then.
In my opinion, they brung Negan in, and everything got ruined.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this whole spirit of the show collapsed, and that's just my opinion. A lot of people will disagree because they love Negan, but the fucking dude, and hey, you might think,
is he the guy with the baseball bat?
Yeah, you might think differently than me, but I can't be the only one, because when he came on the show, it took a dive. And I can tell you, it's because it lost its spirit. It lost the grit that Rick had and that whole group to stay alive and get, survive the way they did. And Negan just comes in and just beats them down. I understand that the comics are that way somewhat, but nah, that's where it just went off the rails.
Dang, it's too bad. And it stink when, you enjoy a show.
Much so,
and
man.
It overstays its welcome.
When he beat the shit out of the other members there, and you might not have got to that part, so I won't say too much.
Oh, dude, I never watched anything past first season.
Nah, okay. But, yeah.
But if I find out it takes a tank, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of watching, 10 seasons of a show to be disappointed?
But anyways, that Night of the Living Dead, that little franchise that is on my list. We won't go over it as deep when I get to it, but
no, you can, or you could save it for yours.
But there you go. So
I'm mostly talking about the original 3 because for a long time it was just 3.
Right.
And those flow a little bit better thematically than the others. I'm not going to say Romero lost any touch or anything, but they're just not the same quality. It's more CGI blood. It's not.
Again, I hate to
do it yourself.
I hate to keep harping on it because there are good horror movies here and there, present day.
Mm-hmm.
But
nothing beats the
oldies. Nothing beats the originals, man. And the in particular 80s. I'll even give early 90s. A spattering late 90s, but you get past that period and you start, it's like everybody and their mothers started tinkering with things because computers got to be a big deal. And that became more of making the movie than actually being on set and making, what they needed for the movie, the props and everything just got twisted a bit. And I just never enjoyed a lot of these films as much. Not to say there's not some, a spattering of good films, horror films here and there, but I think you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I have so many. Dawn of the Dead was like my Friday night movie because I always worked. In high school, I always worked. I worked like 5 to 10, and then I opened up. I'd have to be back at work at like 6 or 7 in the morning sometimes. And I would just come home, pop in my tape that I made a dub of Dawn of the Dead, and just never finish the damn thing, but just fall asleep.
Fall asleep to it. Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead.
Every
Friday night.
Yeah.
That was my movie.
Yep.
Cool. I'm glad it's on your list. I'm glad it's higher than mine.
Oh yeah. So what? Wait, did you just say what was that?
That was mine. So you're next.
You're 5.
That was my 5. So
okay.
Now you're 5.
So my number 5 is, and again, you guys are going to go, what? Yeah, I'm shocked that these are on your list, but my number 5 is Halloween franchise.
I knew it'd be on there.
And really,
there's a couple of good ones.
It's a shame because there are some clunkers, but again, as much as I rip on them, except for this newer movie, it was okay, but I almost don't even consider it a Halloween movie.
Man, everybody sucked its dick way too much, and then they got a chance to see it.
It just, yeah.
It was like when I saw episode 1. I was so hyped up.
People still put it,
the luster will wear off.
It's my 3rd favorite Halloween film of all time.
Yeah, you know what? Star Wars Episode 1 was my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie for a long time. And then I revisited it again and said, you know what? This is a piece of shit. And and now I disown all of those. I don't know what the hell, after Return of the Jedi, I don't know what the hell a Star Wars movie is.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's like... The new movie just loses it for me, and it's just, again, revisit it, and if you still love it, fine. I mean, a lot of people do, but
it made enough money to, prove that somebody liked it, I guess.
It's this high up on my list because of the love I have for Michael Myers, John Carpenter's original Halloween, 1978. Spectacular. Number 2, great. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we've talked about, you could end it there, or you could end it after the first one. But
I liked ending after the first one. I think when you start making reasons for why he's doing things, it takes away some of that terror.
Right.
In the first one, you're like, why the hell is he doing it? What's going on? Why is he picking on this one girl? I mean, it made it more frightening.
Yeah. No. 4...
What about 3?
Was good. 3 was good
too.
I
like 3. It's a cool little ghost story. That's a fun movie that you could watch with your kids at Halloween and freak them out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I liked 4 with the first, the Jamie Lloyd trilogy.
Yeah.
The first of those. I mean, I thought
enjoyed
4
those too.
had some good scenes. 5 was a little.
But still, again, for me, I quite enjoyed it. It was okay.
6.
6 was okay.
Even the producer's cut doesn't really make it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't really care for H2O and Resurrection and.
Again, I like Michael Myers, and I could if I'm sitting there Halloween and it comes on the TV and there's nothing on, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it's there. It's there.
How do you feel about the Rob Zombie ones?
I like it probably a lot more than a lot of other people. They rip it. I quite enjoyed it. It was okay.
I mean, he loves to use his redneck hillbilly characters, and that wears on me a little bit. Maybe that's why I like
not so much on me. I don't mind it.
Maybe that's why I like Lords of Salem so much more because it doesn't have any of those characters in it.
Yeah.
But I will say that his director's cut of Halloween 2 after Lords of Salem is his next best film.
Right.
It deals with survivor's guilt and things like that, the aftermath of a traumatic experience, almost like no other film I've seen.
Yeah.
And there's some real touching moments in it, even, when Brad Dourif, the sheriff, when Annie, his daughter, is killed, and they're showing little pictures of her from when she was a little girl. I mean, she had to obviously give those pictures to Rob to put in the movie. I mean, it just hits home. A father holding his daughter, and then her visiting the psychiatrist, Margot Kidder as the psychiatrist, and
some depth in that.
How you just after there's 2 ways you can go. After an experience like that, you can go like how Jamie Curtis did in the 2018, or what happens most of the time is you spiral out of control into an abyss, like her character did in Rob Zombie's one. So I really thought and I didn't think much of it when I saw it in the theater. I thought it was okay, but then when I saw the director's cut, I'm like, because it changed a lot of things. And I thought it was a way better film. Way better movie.
No, I quite enjoyed them. I mean,
after the original Halloween, I probably like that one the best.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's director's cut Halloween too.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. But
Wow.
again, I mean, as much as we shit on some of these things, it's out of
We
fun
see them
sometime.
We see them all of it. Now that I have kids, I don't see them as quickly as I used to, but I still see them.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yeah. So there you go.
So I have a right to complain.
Okay, so there's a complaint for the next one, or no? Oh, you have a right to complain for the movies. Oh, okay.
Because I pay and I see them or whatever.
No, I got you.
Borrow them from my uncle and...
Yeah.
Not really. Is it my turn again?
Yeah.
Oh,
number 4 we're on,
Number
right?
4.
There we go.
Ooh, I love it.
Ooh.
Hammer's Karnstein trilogy.
Oh. See, I knew this was going to be on there.
The Vampire Lovers. Lust for a Vampire, which doesn't get a lot of love or lust.
Yeah.
And then finally, Twins of Evil. What links them all...
I love it, but go ahead, yeah.
What links them all is a character called...
surprised this is so high on your list, but go ahead.
I love.
Well, no, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised with that. Yeah, go
ahead. They all share a character named... played by different actresses in each one.
Yeah.
Mircalla Karnstein, who is a lesbian vampire, I guess. Mm-hmm. Ingrid Pitt in the first one. I can't pronounce her name in the second one, but she's cute. And her character's not really... Twins of Evil, she's in it, but not very much.
I'm going to have to get padding for the table.
Oh, sorry.
I never... No, it's funny that it just started noticing it the past couple episodes.
Oh.
You're making points, and you're going, yep.
Bam, bam, bam. Some of Hammer's later output, featured the... a little bit more violence and the nudity and stuff like that. These vampires are a little different. Yeah. They can be out in the daytime. Fire doesn't destroy them. They're not destroyed the same way as... So that was their little different, but...
these are the ones you introduced me to. And,
yes.
And I'm not complaining. These are great. Twins of Evil.
Twins of Evil with the Coulson twins and then Vampire Lovers with Ingrid Pitt. And I always joke and say, what I find, really creepy is a castle on the, up on the hill, a moonlit night, a cemetery with mist and fog, and
Peter Cushing,
Ingrid Pitt in a white negligee walking through. That's what's in Vampire Lovers.
That's Ted's nightly dream. It's.
Hey, she was a tough chick. She survived a concentration camp.
Yes, she
from
did.
Poland. She's not Jew. I don't think she was Jewish. She was
That's right.
Pole.
We've talked about that before.
Survived the Nazis.
Yeah.
And then
watch
beautiful actress.
Watch Twins of Evil commentary. We talked about that in there.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we did Vampire Lovers as well.
Yeah. That's
and Lust for a Vampire finally coming out on Blu-ray here and in the UK. I have it pre-ordered, coming out soon.
Cool.
And I think that'll probably be unless we get a really nice copy of Curse of Frankenstein. That's kind of like I have all the Hammer movies that I want.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
That I want.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So my number 4 is the other guy, Jason Voorhees.
You put him...
The Friday the 13th.
Man, you're playing to the crowd.
No, I'm not, Ted.
You like him more than Halloween and Freddy Krueger?
I do. Oh, he's... Wow. See, this is... Yeah, see...
I know.
There's people out there probably going, I'm shocked to hear this from Dino. No.
He's trying to gain subs.
Have I ever played to the crowd? No. There's... Again, these movies are what I grew up on. And Friday the 13th was the first horror film I ever saw when I was a kid. I'm like,
doesn't
what the hell's
sound
going on? Imagine your whole big Italian family all sitting around the couch. There's at least 40 of them. I don't know what they were all doing, but tons of aunts and uncles. My grandma had 13, my mom had 7, all the aunts had kids. And they're all watching Friday the 13th. And I'm sitting there, and behind the couch, peeking out, watching it with my uncle, who was my same age. It was very odd, but my mom and my grandmother had kids at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But
it happens.
Yeah.
Mostly
in hillbilly families down south. But anyways,
like there's a picture of you in a picture holding your uncle.
Just a big Italian family who constantly had kids and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's my first experience of like horror films, and I think that's where it connected. Believe it or not, Jason Voorhees with me. As much as hey, I ripped the shit.
We got him over there. He's
Jason Goes to Hell is probably one of the worst movies ever. Okay, but again,
But you remember how excited we got because I saw that in the theater a couple of times. When I was a kid, I had just I don't know if I was graduating high school. I mean, I was towards the end of high school.
Yeah,
and or graduated already. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. And when Freddy's Claw comes out at the end, I mean, the theater screamed.
Oh yeah,
nobody could. Oh my god!
It scared the living shit.
It made up for the fact that the whole movie sucked. Jason wasn't even in it.
I know. Oh my god.
The Necronomicon from Evil Dead is in it, and there's no reason why.
This don't make no sense. What's going on here?
But when that happened, we're just like, then you had to wait 85 years to get the movie, which turned out to be
And again, most of the latter of all of these franchise, Michael, Jason, all of them, Pinhead, whatever, Hellraiser, you can say the last two suck, really. I mean, the new people will disagree on the new Michael Myers, but anyways, there we go. Friday the 13th, just because he's so iconic, I can watch him in most of these movies. There's a great fan film coming out.
It's talking about it.
From what I've seen, it looks fantastic, but
can't be that hard to make. You just put the hockey mask on some dude, have him walk around with the machete.
The machete.
My mother's lucky machete.
But anyways, there you go. We can quickly get through the. You don't want to hear us blabber on about something you've watched 1,000 videos on. So and then next, your number.
Oh, the top three.
Top three.
All right. Next, this is probably your number one. I don't know, but before the word cinematic universe was thrown around so casually, we have the Universal Monster series. And specifically, we're talking. Is this on your list?
Well, you'll see how I did this.
Oh, you did it? Okay.
Yeah. You can probably figure it out now, but go ahead.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking specifically if you watch the Dracula, Frankenstein, and Wolfman films in production order, the order that they came out in, it does sort of tell one big story.
Right.
Many of them pick up where the previous one left off, and there's fairly good continuity. And it doesn't like. I think the last one was House of Dracula in 1945. It's not like it has some kick-ass epic ending. It doesn't.
Right.
But it's just cool how you sort of, if you watched them in order, it was like watching one big movie.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't appreciate that as much as a kid because I didn't really get that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But as I got older and I started watching them in order, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, even though that was a Dracula movie, now this is a Frankenstein movie. Okay. It all kind of gelled, so...
I'd like to jump in, but yeah, we'll wait.
Do you want to?
No, well, then it'll blow my list here.
All right.
There's only 3 left, but...
Well, I'll say nothing more, and...
So what was the, your third pick was what?
That was my third pick. The Universal Monster Cinematic Universe.
Oh, okay.
Specifically the Dracula... Frankenstein and Wolfman films.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I said, if you watch them all in the order that they came out, it is like one big story.
Okay, so yeah. Well, I got 2 more before I get to that. But there you go. I already blew it.
I had a feeling it was going to be up there for you. So if you were thinking in the same way I was,
we were.
Okay.
Although you separated Creature, but I'll talk about it here.
Because it's not part of the.
Well, anyways. Yeah, wait, what am I doing here? My number 3. My number 3 is yours 5 or something like it, whatever it was. Night of the Living Dead, that, George Romero kind of thing. And mostly for 1, 2, and 3.
That's
Night
all
of the Living Dead,
that's all I have on my shelf.
Dawn, Day, Day, Dawn. I mean...
What's your favorite one out of all 3? Mine's Dawn of the Dead, even though I love them all, but I love Dawn of the Dead the best.
I'd have to say that too.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame that if you're a collector, you can't buy that movie in this country. Or almost any other country. But it's coming out in England.
So you can get it. So yeah.
But it won't be region free. You'll have to have a region free player like me. and Martin.
I'll get it. And Martin, yeah, that's right.
See, because Richard Rubenstein, Romero's old partner, owns the rights to those, and he did a restoration of Dawn of the Dead and converted it to 3D, and never really got his money back from that. So he asks a very high licensing fee. But
no, yeah, it's again
in England you don't have to pay as much because they're not going to sell as many because it's a smaller country than the United States. So I'll be locking one in as soon as I know it goes on sale.
Hell yeah. But again, I agree with you with the latter. I mean, they are what they are.
I know we saw Land of the Dead together. I know you and I saw that
at the theater. Yeah,
me and my sister saw Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead. I don't think even came to the theaters. I ended up
VOD it.
Yeah, video on demand or whatever. It's like it was an afterthought. And I think what I missed the most is each of those sort of had some kind of societal message.
Yeah,
and the last one didn't really. At least as far as I can tell.
But anyway,
the last one didn't really have any kind of, you know, it had a zombie riding a horse. I mean, what's up with that?
It's Game of Thrones.
I guess.
Anyways, whatever. But yeah, so that's my number 3. I mean, you know, it's like, come on, you know, it's got to be up there. You know, Night of the Living Dead alone is just. But again, you can't touch those three. You know, zombie films, classics, always will be. You know. So there you go. That's my number 3.
And they marketed Night of the Living Dead to kids when it came out. I mean, it was in drive-ins, and it was in like those, you know, they'd pair it with some other tame monster movie because people didn't know. They didn't have ratings, and these kids are probably getting all terrified.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh my God. What's going on? They're eating guts.
I thought I was going to watch the giant Gila monster.
Those are just hot dogs, honey.
No, those are real animal
intestines. Guts. Yeah.
Oh my.
So you're number 2.
Once you hear my number 2, you'll know what my number 1 is. But I'm going to say Hammer's Dracula series.
What could number 1 be?
Yeah, but whether it's got Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in it or not,
Peter Cushing's in there.
Yep. I mean, you've got Dracula, or as it was here in the States, Horror of Dracula.
Cushing.
Brides of Dracula, which I know we've seen. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. Taste the Blood of Dracula. Scars of Dracula.
Lots of Draculas.
Dracula AD 1972. The Satanic Rites of Dracula. And then finally, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires.
Yeah.
Which is kung fu and vampires all mashed together.
You gotta be a kung fu fighter.
And it was awesome. And
you gotta be fast as lightning.
Some I like more than others, of course, but I like them all, and I own them all, and I think they're fantastic. And if you don't like them, you should be boiled in your own pudding.
Yeah. Hey, and what would you to somebody who isn't a Hammer fan or isn't even really familiar with Hammer? What would be the quintessential Dracula Hammer flick they should go and see?
You should start with the first. I would say the first 3: Dracula, Brides of Dracula. Even though Christopher Lee's not in it, it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Okay,
all good ones.
Okay, so there you go.
I would say there's continuity up through Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Yeah.
After Taste the Blood of Dracula, there's not so much continuity.
Yeah.
Except for AD 72 and Satanic Rites. There's continuity between those two.
Because Hammer started losing.
Yeah. But those first batch there are all, it follows a continuity.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Fantastic movies.
Yeah. I'm not sure why I'm looking, but. Okay.
And I got to tell you, I've noticed an absence of Hammer films on your list here. So you better pick up the pace. Number 2.
There's no Hammers on my list. Doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed the ones.
If this was a Muslim country, you'd be stoned.
Introduced. It doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed the ones you've introduced me to, because I have.
I have failed as a friend.
A couple. No, I'm glad you.
I failed as a mother.
I'm glad you introduced me to the ones you have, and again, I've got more to watch. So talk to me in a few more years here.
A few years?
Well,
I blew through them in a month.
There's a lot of freaking.
I got them all on my phone, dude. Look at this, man.
No, I trust you. I trust you.
I got them all on my phone.
Okay, my number 2.
Just so I can watch them.
And this was, I think we talked about this beforehand. Like Would we consider this, horror sci-fi, but Aliens?
Okay, it's on every
the
list.
Alien
I consider
franchise.
it. Sure.
Yeah, it's
especially the first one alone.
it's horror sci-fi. There's a monster in there. I mean, an alien.
I
whatever.
accept it.
There's horror. There's suspense. There's all of that. So, number 2, it makes this list because, frick. I mean, people may disagree with me, but I love. Okay, not is a strong word, but I love all of the movies. I can sit there and watch them all and go, this was a great flick.
There's not an Alien film I haven't watched.
Yeah.
I've watched them all.
And have you enjoyed them all?
For the most part, even like something like Prometheus,
Yeah,
I enjoyed until they made a sequel that wasn't as good, or they didn't. What do I want to say?
Covenant.
They just didn't fulfill what they set out to do. Like that movie set out to answer, explore some big questions and tie it into the Alien universe. No, and it just didn't really happen.
I give it to you with the latter films. Always, that's just the way it goes. Because
but don't the ask ideas me in Prometheus, I love.
Yeah. In Covenant, I mean, again, and people. Yeah, but it still had that feel, I mean,
I thought that character of David was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, he was an interesting character, and how his fate, or how his existence tied into the the creation of the alien that we would come to know.
Yeah, and just because this is higher than a lot. Do I love Alien? Well, see, I'm not going to compare. Again. This is a franchise where I loved all the movies. Believe it or not, I loved them all. So, what more can I say? They're great. They're great, and I'll always remember them. No matter where they go. Wait. This ain't a person. Anyways, so yeah, there's my 2. Let's get to your number 1 pick, which I already know. My number 1 pick is Hammer. Frankenstein franchise series, whatever.
Yeah. All of them. We got Curse of Frankenstein, Revenge of Frankenstein, Evil of Frankenstein,
Great.
Frankenstein Created Woman. We got Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, Frankenstein, A Monster from Hell, and there's even one without Peter Cushing in it, sort of a reboot called Horror of Frankenstein. I even like that one.
You even like that one without Peter Cushing?
It's Ralph Bates, who, if you've never seen him in a film, he's kind of a...
Okay. He's Ralph Malph from Happy Days, right?
He's been in a few Hammer films. He's been in other stuff, but I appreciate him. I like the character he's played. He was in one of he's in Lust for a Vampire, which I was just talking about.
He's from Lebanon?
No, but he's in a really interesting, one of the more unique Hammer films called Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Yeah, you told me about that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it sort of flip-flops the formula where when he takes the formula, he turns into a woman. Instead of
little Ed Wood going on there,
sort of, and the woman's got these murderous tendencies, and it ties into the whole Jack the Ripper thing. So it's kind of cool. But that aside, that Horror of Frankenstein features Ralph Bates as the doctor. But Peter Cushing in those films, fantastic. Continuity for the first few. After that, it didn't really matter. But
no,
probably some of my most favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, no, I know you're a Hammer guy, and which flows right into my number 1 pick is I'm a Universal guy, a Universal horror, and I kind of took this in a different direction just because.
Did you just say the whole kit and caboodle?
The whole kit and caboodle, because
I accept it.
Again, I understand that Creature is its own kind of thing, but I put that in that whole universe just because it's from that period. It's black and white. It's those Universal monsters.
The Universal monsters
are just unforgettable.
And so you don't leave out the other ones like I had to do, like the Mummy. And,
Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
I actually thought one of yours was going to be the Abbott and Costello monster series.
Oh, man.
I thought, but it's included here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I were to just break them all up, my whole list would consist of the Universal monster horror film.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
I mean, for me, it would have taken up a good chunk. That's why I just put them all in one basket, because they're all similar feel. I mean,
And it's not like
they're
the
classic
early ones
for
are
a
all the best ones. Some of the better ones are later on.
Oh, I was going to say
Frankenstein.
I was going to say that too.
Frankenstein.
Son of Frankenstein's better than the original. Bride is better. I like that better than the original Frankenstein.
Some people do. There's not
some of the Draculas too. I think I enjoyed the subsequent Draculas. Maybe not the fourth one as much as 2 and 3, but I definitely think I enjoyed 2 and 3 better than 1. So it's odd, but there's not a bad one in a bunch.
And
That's
the Mummy
the thing.
series is pretty good too because there's continuity there. It's not the only thing is they're not direct sequels of Boris Karloff's The Mummy. They're their own thing.
Yeah.
But like the first one has some younger characters, and then the next one they're older. It's played by different actors, but they're much older.
Right.
So I mean, there's continuity.
No.
They paid attention to it.
Yes. Again, you said the Dark Universe. This is what they actually accomplished back in the day. Somewhat. I mean,
It's like a soap opera for kids, man.
Took them to kind of combine them a little bit there and then bring them together. But yeah, I mean, the Wolfman, that one I think I enjoyed the first flick better than the others. But even the others, Ted, 2, 3, 4, I mean, they're all great. I mean, and I like how they kept them in 4s. It's like, except for Creature. I mean, there's 3. Then you got.
Well, there might have been Invisible Man. Might have had more than 4.
I think so. Yeah. Well, and then you got into the Invisible Woman,
and the Invisible Agent.
Yeah.
See, that's what I said.
That's where they kind of started spurring off the
weren't
Invisible
really
Ray
horror films. Those were.
But I'm putting the classic monsters in as my franchise kind of lump there, and I mean, for me, that's my love. I can't say
some of the best movies.
Some of the best movies, and if you watch them, if you just sit down, if you're new and you're young and you're revisiting some of these classics, like some of these people do, and you just watch the first Dracula with Bela Lugosi,
it's a little stagey.
You may sit there and go, "These are what the classic monster movies are all about." Yes, keep going.
Frankenstein, The Mummy.
Yeah, watch them.
Watch The Invisible Man and think back to the 1930s and go, "How the hell did they do that?"
Yeah,
because it still looks damn. When you see just those pants,
how the hell we do our
street,
commentary like we disappear? No, I
mean even the Creature in the Black. You don't see a zipper on that costume. That is a good costume.
Damn good, man, for the time period and for. I wonder how that would look in front of a 4K, digital. I mean,
we got better than Shape of Water. It looked better than that. They kept him in the dark. You never saw what the hell he looked like. You never saw what the hell.
You are something else. But yeah,
making love to a fish man.
Making love. But yeah,
making love down by the fire.
But yeah, there's our top 10 horror franchises of all time, according to me and according to Ted.
Mine is probably what you'd expect it to be.
I think so. Yeah. And, you might have had some questions.
You surprised me. You surprised me.
Yeah. No.
I would have thought some things would have been a little bit higher up, but I can't complain about anything.
Yeah.
But what the stuff that I like is just the stuff that I like, and
well, there's others in the
hell. I didn't purposely try to. I'm excluding all of that shit.
There's like the Amityville franchise. There's Fright Night is technically a franchise.
Yeah, because you got 2 sequels of the remake.
Yeah, and I mean, what are some other ones? I mean, then you can go to like Critters and all these.
But see,
other
those
ones,
movies. I mean, even though I might like them, they're silly.
No,
I mean,
Poltergeist is another big.
And come on, after
franchise.
the first one, it's like, what's the point?
The Exorcist is a franchise.
It's true.
2 sucked, but 1.
Although I liked 3, man, I thought 3 was a good movie.
3 was excellent.
Some of that stuff in 3 freaked me out.
Yeah, no,
that was a good book too.
Yeah. Didn't read the book for number
Legion.
3, but yeah.
See, they should have used the proper name, Legion,
yeah,
instead of Exorcist 3, because that was the name of the book,
right?
Legion.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go, man. Excellent. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Put your guys' list down below if you want.
Yeah, surprise me a little.
I'd be curious to find out what you guys.
Come on, Hammer fans.
Yeah, what your guys' lists are. Time Lord, he'll be watching. He'll chime in.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better, brother.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you to all my patrons, of course. We got a Patreon page. Search the Late Late Horror Show on there, and the link is down below. Become a Patreon, and Yeah, and check out our Facebook page, Horror Town.
Mm-hmm.
Fun place. The Late Late Horror Show pages, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an idea for next week, I think.
We have an idea.
Yeah.
My chin is
we'll
real
see.
smooth.
Yeah, nice close shave, huh?
I did, man. I shaved before I came over here.
Just like a...
In case you wanted to get close to me.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh,
In case you
you
wanted to
crazy.
suck on my chin a little bit.
Oh, Lord, no. With that, we're going to say goodbye. Take it easy, guys. Late Late Horror Show.